stuff, the next thing we're going to go over is how do you get started moving? Well, we're going to dive right into it, okay? So, when you're skating, okay, when you're trying to pick up forward momentum, it's really just based off of two simple concepts, and those I'm going to share with you right now, okay? So, what this is going to look like, okay, you're going to start with your toes pointed outwards, okay? If you have your feet pointed forward and you're trying to walk, you're not going to go anywhere, okay? So that's not going to work. So what you have to do is, you've got to point your toes outward, okay? Now, when you go to pick up your movement, and you go to pick up speed, you're not going to be walking, okay? It's actually a little bit different from that. You're going to be stepping out to the side, okay? To the side. So it's not going to be like walking, because that won't get you anywhere, okay? You're going to point your toes outward, like this, and then you're going to push out to the side. And you're going to alternate between both feet, okay? So if you're just now getting started out with it, okay, what you're going to do, you're going to bend your knees, point your toes outward, and then take small steps, okay? Push off with one foot, push off the other foot. You're going to alternate, one foot at a time. Okay. Now, obviously if you start out with small steps, you're not going to be going as fast, but I highly recommend, if you're new to skating or if you're returning to skating, take it slow, okay? Start out with small steps, and then the more comfortable you feel skating, then you can start to take bigger steps, okay? That's the basis of getting started with your movement, okay? The next part of the video, we're going to get into how to stop while you're skating, okay? Because just important as it is as you're moving, it's very important to know how to stop as well, and how to do so in a safe manner, okay? Now, if at any point in time, if you feel like you're losing your balance while you're practicing your movement, remember, you always want to anticipate. If you feel like you're going to fall, if you're going to lose your balance, you want to drop down as low as you can go, okay? Drop down low and kick your legs out, okay? Anticipate the fall, okay? Don't let the fall take you by surprise, because believe it or not, even though falls happen, very quickly, you can still recover while it's happening, okay? But you just have to be ready for it, okay? All right? So we're going to get right into our stops, okay? So I'm going to show you guys 3 different ways that you can use to stop yourself, okay? Now, if you're watching this video and you're attempting to do this with inline skates, okay, or rollerblades, whatever you call them, 2 of these stops will work for you, but 1 of them you'll have to modify, okay? So, we're going to get into it. If you're wearing quad skates like these right here, then you're good to go. Alright, first stop we're going to do is called the toe stop, okay? If you're just now getting started out with skating, if you're newer to skating, or if you're a returning skater and your stopping isn't that great, I highly recommend you learning and using this stop here, okay? This stop is, I would say it's best for, I would say if you're moving at a slower or maybe like a medium speed, okay? Because otherwise, I think when you start going a little bit faster, the other stops might just work a little bit better for you, okay? So let me show you this one. This one's called the toe stop, and you guessed it, you're going to be using your toe stop to stop yourself, all right? Now, for those of you who don't know much about skates, your toe stop is this big little stopper that you got right in front of you. Now, I don't have toe stops. These are actually called plugs. They're a little bit smaller than toe stops, but for the sake of the video, we're going to use them anyways and pretend that they're toe stops. Because you actually can use them as a toe stop, okay? So, here we go. So what you're gonna do, all right, we're gonna pick up a little speed here. We're gonna start moving, and then all we're gonna do is we're gonna take our back foot and we're gonna drag it just like that. Okay, I'm gonna show you from the side so you can see what it looks like. Okay, you're just gonna drag it until you stop. Okay, just like that. Very simple stop to do. Okay, I recommend trying it with both feet. See what feels more comfortable for you. Okay, and see if this stop even works for you, because you may like the other ones even better. Okay, so all you're gonna do is just drag that stop until you come to a complete stop. Okay. Now the next stop I'm going to show you. This stop is called the T stop. Although, if you ask my personal opinion, it looks more like an L, but it is what it is. All right. So for this stop, what you're going to do is, while you're skating, okay, you're going to take one foot and you're going to make an L. Okay, even though it's called the T stop, bear with me on this. All right, that's all you're going to do. So let's say that your dominant foot is your left foot. As you're skating, you're going to make an L and drag your other foot until you stop. Okay. Now I'm going to show you, there's a couple of variations to this stop. Okay, so do what works best for you, do what you prefer to do. Okay, but for this stop, what you can do, and a lot of people will do this, is while they're skating, they'll lift. You see my right foot here, they'll lift it up so they're only on the front two wheels and using that as a stopper. Okay, so I'm going to show you that again, and I'm going to show you from another angle. Okay, so again, you're just going to drag that foot until you stop. Okay, so this is going to be a noisy stop. You're going to hear your wheels turning when you're doing this stop. Okay, so don't be worried if you hear a sound. All right, I'll show you from another angle. Okay, you're just dragging that foot until you stop. Okay, so again, like the other ones, I highly recommend doing it with both feet. Okay, trying both variations between keeping, your foot flat or lifting the toe up. Okay, just do what works better for you and what feels more comfortable. Okay, I'm going to show you a few more examples of that from a few different angles. Okay, so just like that. Okay. Just like that. Remember, you're making an L with your feet, okay? And then you just drag it until you stop. Alright? Let me show you one more. Just like that. Okay? Just dragging your foot until you stop. Alright? And finally, we're going to do our last stop. And this stop is called, it's another letter, the V stop. Alright, so we're going to be doing a V stop. Now, to do this stop here, there's a few things you got to keep in mind. Okay? The first things first, when you're going into this stop, okay, what you're going to do is, as you're skating, you're going to bring both feet out at the same time, and then you're going to bring them in. Okay? So here, let me show you what that looks like. Alright? So as you're skating, you bring both feet out, and then bring them in. Now as you see when I'm here, my feet are kind of in an upside down V. That's why they call this the V stop. Now if you try to do this stop while you're not moving, and you have your feet pointed inwards, well, you might just end up going backwards. Alright? So this is a stop that you can use forwards and backwards. This is actually my personal favorite stop. I just prefer it out of all of them. I feel like it just, you can use it when you're going a little bit faster, which is what I typically tend to do. So if you do like to skate fast and you're looking for an advanced stop, I highly recommend using the V I'm going to show you this a few more times, then I'll show you at a different angle. Okay? So all you're going to do is bring both feet out and then bring them in. Okay? So, the one thing to note about this stop, the faster that you're moving, okay, the farther that you're going to have to bring your legs up. Okay? So keep that in mind. Because if you're going very fast, you're not going to be able to do this by just going like that. Okay? That'll work if you're going slow, right? But if you're going fast and you have a lot of speed, you're going to have to go out farther and bring them in. Okay? So again, I highly recommend you work on the other two stops first. This one is a bit more advanced and takes a bit more practice to learn. But I'll show you guys a few more examples if you want to follow along here. Okay, so just as you're skating, both feet out, and bring them in. Okay. Show you again from a different angle. So as you're skating, both feet out, and bring them in. Okay, now remember, when you come to a stop, you want your toes to be pointed inward. Okay, that's going to cut off all of your movement. Okay, and that's going to be the best way to stop yourself if you're going fast. Okay, now obviously there's 100 different ways you can stop. Okay, but those are just, I would say, some of the most common and easy ones. And then the last one, of course, the V-stop. I just threw that in there because that's my personal favorite. So, just to give you guys a quick little example of some other cool ways that you can stop, okay? Some of these don't even have names. I just made them up. So, here's another one. Okay, you can stop like that. You can stop like that. That. Okay, that one wasn't a stop song, but you get my point. There's 100 different ways you can stop. You really just have to find out what works best for you, what's more comfortable for you, and then once you figure that out, you're good to go.